Hey superstar, welcome back to part 2 of the only 5 ways that your business can make more money. If you didn't watch that video, I highly recommend watching it first because this video won't make as much sense without that one. But in that video, I walked you through the 5 different ways that your business can make more money and gave you a couple of examples of what would happen if you made small incremental changes in each of the 5 ways, what could happen at the bottom line. And it was pretty exciting. So quick refresher, we talked about the 5 ways. Each of these little red arrows represents one of the 5 ways. One way is generating more leads in the business, increasing your conversion rate, increasing the average number of transactions per client, increasing your price point to increase your average sale price, and then also increasing your profit margin. So when we make little incremental changes here, say, from 100 to 105, 30 to 31.5, and so on, we're able to see huge changes in the bottom line. So again, if you want to see the whole thing and how it comes alive, definitely watch part 1 of the video. But now we're going to talk about how to increase each of these red arrow points. All right, so the first one, how to increase leads. Here are some ideas for increasing the number of leads, 5%, 10%, or even more. The first is marketing strategies. Creating new marketing strategies, or even better in my opinion, is improving the strategies that are already working. One of my absolute favorite strategies is to go to past clients and revisit them and re-engage them with something new, some new offering, some new opportunity. Most people ignore past clients, and when they look at generating more leads, are always looking into getting brand new people. But someone who already has a relationship of like and trust established with you might be ready for more of your magic. Now, if you're looking for some exciting marketing strategies, I have a ton of videos. In fact, I have a whole playlist on marketing strategies for coaching, consulting businesses. So if you want to do that, check out the link below. We'll paste a link to the playlist so you can check out new strategies for how to drive more leads. And I'm talking about speaking as a strategy, events as a strategy, referrals as a strategy, and a whole lot more. The second strategy is to increase your conversion rate. Now here's the thing, this is my absolute favorite strategy to focus on. I feel like people naturally try to focus on this one and sometimes ignore this one as if it's set in stone. Whereas I think this is one of the easiest ways to increase your bottom line the fastest, because it doesn't take much to increase your conversion rate. Number 1, you can increase the quality of the leads you're getting by increasing your qualification. But more importantly, you can just become better at sales. That means creating more rapport with clients, having a better sales structure, sales conversation, and this is huge, having better sales follow-up. This is one of the biggest places where sales fall through the cracks. So I actually have a bunch of videos on how to conduct better sales conversations, better strategy sessions, better discovery calls. Highly recommend checking out that playlist as well. And in fact, I would recommend starting with that playlist. If you've already got leads coming in, a decent lead flow, but your conversion rate is anything less than 25 or 30%, then I think that this is a really great place to focus your efforts. By the way, before I get through the next 3 things that you can do to raise your bottom line, I want to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, maybe post a comment below letting me know how you're applying this in your business. Oh, by the way, one more thing before I forget about conversion rate. One of the biggest things that I ever did to focus on that was to create a KPI tracker. KPI tracker is key performance indicators. So what I do now is I track my conversion rate and I'm paying attention to it. I know how many people came in the door, how many people I made an offer to, what the offer I made to them was, and how many of them said yes. And just by tracking those numbers, they naturally seem to improve. Maybe it's because I've always been a good student and I like to get A's in school and I like to see my performance improving. I don't know what it is, but without doing very much else, just focusing on it has helped raise our conversion rate. Okay, here's the third thing you can do. You can increase your average number of transactions. How you do that is by creating, in my opinion, upsells and downsells. What that looks like is whenever someone buys something, having an opportunity for them to buy the next thing whether that's something that's higher in price or something that's lower in price. So many entrepreneurs get caught up in selling one and done, or having 4 or 5 different options and people choose among 4 or 5. What I like to do is create ascension. What ascension or descension looks like is having the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So instead of different things that you choose among, it's, hey, you start here and then you go here and then you go here and then you go to this next thing. And that increases the number of transactions per client. So it's kind of like the McDonald's old story, do you want fries with that? I think it was McDonald's, right? That people would come in, they'd buy a burger, get a drink, and then at the checkout, they would say, do you want fries with that? And boom, 30% of people or whatever said yes. So now they increase the number of transactions. So you can offer an upsell or downsell to have more transactions per client. The next thing you can do, and this is my second favorite thing to do, together with conversion rate. These are the 2 areas that I usually focus first with clients. Can you raise your prices? Most of the time, in my experience, this is where people, their mindset gets in the way. They don't realize the value of what they offer, and they tend to underprice, undercharge for it. So if you can increase the perception of value, and if you can get better at this conversion, you can usually raise your price point at least 5 or 10%, at least. And usually I raise prices more like 20 to 30% every time I raise them. So this is a really great place to focus, and it might require a shift in mindset. This is where you might want to get some coaching. You might want to get some support in order to bust through any limiting beliefs or stories that you have about your worthiness or the value of your offerings. And finally, your profit margin. This is a great place to focus your attention if you have the suspicion or the feeling that you're overspending, if your business is bloated. I went through a period about 2.5 years ago where I basically cut out everything extraneous from the business and tightened everything up, got rid of subscriptions that I had been hanging on to for years and things that I wasn't using, and I was able to tighten this up, and without having to make any more sales, I was able to increase the profits in the business substantially. And the coolest thing about it is that this has remained lower over the years since. So a stitch in time saves 9, just like starting right away to get rid of all the extraneous, and also being really, really discerning about any new expenses, in particular, any new recurring expenses. I've basically become much, much more discerning about what I will allow to come on as a retainer or subscription in the business, because it's so easy to say yes to something that's 20 or 30 or 50 bucks a month and then forget about it and not be using it. So this is a great place to shave away and then intentionally invest in what's going to help these things grow. One of the ways that you can increase your average number of transactions, and this is a big one, this is what I did, is to add something that's monthly recurring revenues. What? Just by introducing something that's monthly recurring, you can add, over the course of a year, 12 additional transactions essentially. You're adding 12 more payments to someone who would have just bought something one time. So I'm a big fan of subscription models, membership models, retainer models, anything where someone is enrolling in a longer term commitment with you. I hope you got to see some ideas about how you can increase your revenues in your business and increase your profits in very simple, easy ways. If you're looking for more ideas that are specific to your business and a custom conversation, then go visit superstaractivator.com/go and take a look at what it might look like to work with me. You can even set up time on my calendar so I can give you ideas on your business. I look forward to meeting you.